All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the first episode of the new improved Koozie Sports College Football Show. We're a little late here, but we're going to take it from the semis, do a video next week, probably do a video after the national championship, and we'll just kind of see what happens. We're going to get some picks in, start the new year, start a nice,
Yeah,
nice
you
fresh
didn't
new
really miss
record.
much in the quarterfinals.
No, the quarterfinals sucked. So, all right, the first game is tomorrow night. I don't know if I'm posting this Wednesday or Thursday, but we're currently recording on Wednesday. Tomorrow night, we've got Ole Miss and Miami in the Fiesta Bowl. We got Miami giving Ole Miss 3.5 points. They've got a minus 164 on the money line, and the over/under is 52.5. I'll fucking go first, I suppose.
Yeah, who you got for
Uh,
us?
I got Ole Miss plus 3.5. I've got Ole Miss money line. I've got under 52.5. Just waiting for Carson Beck to kind of explode a bit, and that Miami pass rush, I don't think is gonna fare too well with Chambliss running around. I mean, he didn't get sacked last week, and I think it was he got 12 pressures, didn't get sacked last week. So I think it's a pretty fun matchup we got tomorrow night.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. I took plus 3.5 as well, and I also took the under too. Um, I think that Miami's gotten really lucky over the past 2 weeks or past two games. Um, One facing a Texas A&M team that I don't think was very good, and kind of got a quick little buy into the 7 seed, and they lost because they were frauds. But they also faced an Ohio State team that was a month off with a freshman quarterback that's never been in a situation like that in Julian Sand. And like you said about Carson Beck, he really hasn't had to do all much. Let's see. In Texas A&M game, he went, if I can find it, 14 for 20 for 103 yards and a touchdown. The touchdown being just that little pitch flip to Malachi Tony for a 7-yard touchdown, which, should have just been, a rushing attempt, but that's how they call those now. And, against Ohio State, too, the same thing. He was a little bit more efficient, 19 for 26, but only threw for 138 yards and a score. This Miami offense has been carried by Mark Fletcher throughout these first two games, and I don't think they can really rely on him for a third game in a row against the Ole Miss team that's rolling. So I'm going to go with Ole Miss plus 3.5.
Yeah, I guess we're matching that. Would you if also the money line if you're taking the money line?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean,
also
I
the
think
money
they
line.
went outright
So we're
too.
we're just we're sames here. Yeah, I was saying this. I was gonna say the same thing about Fletcher, Malachi Tony. Would be interested to see how they fare against this offense or this Ole Miss defense. They've only scored 27 points through the two games so far. I think they're gonna need a lot more than that to get by
Yeah,
Ole
it's just,
Miss.
I mean, Carson Beck has not been asked to do a lot, and I think Ohio State being as rusty as they were. The only outlier of the bye teams over the last 2 years that's won is an Indiana team that rolled a pretty bad, I wouldn't say bad, but a fairly lacking Alabama team in the quarterfinal.
Yeah, no, that was. We'll get to that game in a second here, but um, what else we got? What else we got? Uh, oh, this is an interesting matchup because we've got Old Miss who hasn't won a title in 63 years, and then we've also got Miami who hasn't won a title in 24 years. So we got a
Yeah, I
couple.
mean, I'm pretty sure Miami's the only one out of the four that's won one, right? I mean, they've won
No,
three,
Old
albeit,
Miss
but Indiana hasn't won
63,
one.
63 years ago. Old Miss won.
Oh, okay, I
Yeah,
guess that
forever
counts.
ago. Uh, yeah. I guess for that game, that's about that. You got anything else?
That's about it. Yeah. I mean, that's just a little bit more to add on. I'd say Trinidad Chambliss is probably the best quarterback this Miami's defense has faced, at least in the playoff, probably all year too.
Yeah.
I think Marcel Reed was young and overhyped. I think Sane was very young and overhyped, but they're not playing a kid that's under 20 years old. Trinidad Chambliss is 23, and
Yeah.
he's won a national championship in D2 and,
Right.
put up 45 and 39 on Georgia in 2 games in the regular season. So,
Yeah, I think he's gonna be the biggest headache so far for this Miami defense, probably all year at
yeah.
quarterback. So, um, yeah, he's got 362 yards, 2 tuds last game. So we'll see where that goes tomorrow night. Moving on, we've got Friday night. We've got Oregon and Indiana. Indiana giving Oregon 3.5 points. Indiana's at minus 196 on the money line, and the over/under is set at 48.5. I've got a little bit of a screwball here. I've got Oregon plus 3.5, but I've got Indiana money line and over
Oof.
48.5. I think,
That's slim pickings for sure.
yeah, I mean, definitely, their first matchup. It was definitely a better game than the final score indicated. Um,
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a lot closer this time. Within a couple points, obviously taking the 3.5. I mean, Indiana blew out Bama, but again, this is another Big Ten matchup that they've already seen. And as far as the over goes, Indiana's been on a roll points wise, and I think Oregon's going to be able to put up some points because Oregon's top 10 in points and points allowed in all of college
Yeah.
football.
Yeah, I do agree with you that I think Indiana's going to win the game. However, I do think they're also going to cover that extra half point too.
Okay,
Um,
so you've got the three
I
and a
would,
half.
I did take the minus 3.5, and for the over, I didn't necessarily pick one, but just as I'm mulling over it now, I'm going to go under, just because I feel like this Oregon defense is phenomenal. It's a top 5 unit in the country,
Right.
without a doubt. But I'm worried about Oregon's offense against Indiana's defense, which is also a top 5 unit, just based off of last week. Um, the score against Texas Tech may have been 23-0. That game was 6-0,
Right.
very well into the third quarter. Um,
And Moore didn't throw the
Texas
ball
Tech
downfield at all.
Warren didn't throw the ball more than 10 yards downfield with efficiency whatsoever. Which, I mean, I'm going to get to that in a little bit. But Oregon had the ball 13 different times in this game. Turned the ball over on downs twice. Dante Moore threw a pick. Got 2 field goals out of it, and then they scored 2 touchdowns, one being a one-play drive after Morton fumbled in the middle of the third quarter, and a 8-yard or 8-play 27-yard drive in the fourth quarter when the game was already within bounds or out of reach. And like Carson Beck, Dante Moore didn't really have to do much in that game either. I think 8 yards per attempt. I mean, he really efficient, 26 and 33, but only 230 yards, and he, was on the field against a Texas Tech defense that was, on the field constantly for at least 2/3 of the game.
Yeah, I mean, certainly my under pick or my over pick doesn't have too much logic behind it with Oregon's defense. More not throwing the ball downfield. Mendoza really being a one read RPO guy. But some for me is just screaming over in this game. So
Well, I mean, that's these things aren't logical half the time. You know
no,
what I mean?
exactly.
That's why I lose all
My
the time.
big gut's just saying over. Uh,
Yeah, I mean, I just looking back on how dominant they were in that Alabama game. I wouldn't necessarily say that Oregon's going to lay a duck like they did, but I think that combined with their defense and Indiana's defense, I just think it's going to be. I mean, we're basically looking at who's going to be the number one pick in the draft next year, and in my opinion, at least. And you're looking at two of the best defenses, so I just think points will come at a premium, and I think 48 is still even a little high maybe for this.
meh.
That's just
Yeah,
my
yeah, no,
logic,
it
though.
definitely is a little high. What was the final of the first game? I can't remember off the top of my head. Do you remember the final? I think it was under that
Which
total.
one
The Indiana
was
Oregon game.
35-3? Oh, Indiana, Oregon? No, it was
Oh,
30-22. It was
oh,
52.
so it was over. Yeah.
So it was over,
Um.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll see. And you think this game dictates the first overall pick, Doss?
Um, I think. Yes, and I don't think it should be true, but I do think that I think whoever wins this game is winning the national championship. Would you? I mean, would you be fair in saying that?
I don't know if Oregon wins. I don't like Oregon against. I don't like Oregon against Ole Miss. I'd like Oregon against Miami though. I think.
Yeah. Okay. I think I agree with that too.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think that's just how high I am on Indiana. That if Oregon were to beat Indiana right now, I think Oregon would be the superior team. But I think logically speaking, right now, I would take that standpoint. But obviously, things will change in the next 2 days.
Fair enough. Fair enough. What else we got? You got anything else for us, Doss, on this game or?
On Indiana, Oregon. I mean, Indiana just is rolling. Beat up on a really good Bama defense. Um, and like, I think if you want to talk about how great Oregon's defense was, which yeah, they pitched a shutout against what was considered a top four team in the country. Which I do still think Texas Tech was the top four team in the country, but I don't think that Baron Morton was a top four quarterback, that's for sure. And I think that Mendoza is not going to get rattled in the sense that he did,
No.
because he's obvious. I mean, he's played in two bigger games, probably three bigger games than Baron Morton's played in his entire life this season, or two of them at least, or three of them, not two of them. One against Ohio State, one against Oregon.
Right. Yeah. I mean, last week too against Bama.
Yeah,
I
duh.
mean, yeah.
Yeah, that was the third. Yeah.
Right. Oh. Yeah. Um. I don't really have anything else. I mean, short little. I mean,
Yeah, I mean,
we're
not
picking
much
two
to it.
games here. Yeah.
The football games.
Yeah. I mean, keep it short and
Two,
sweet.
I would. Two of the last three college football games of the year, which is a little sad. No
Yeah,
more
it's
Saturdays.
a little crazy.
Yeah,
Crazy.
kind of weird. I mean, the NFL is king, I guess, in this moment, but not having college football on Saturday late in the year just feels a little weird to me.
Yeah. All right.
That's just me, though.
Well, we'll be back recording tomorrow night for NFL picks.
Yeah.
Got
Ooh.
wild card round picks going. I think we're gonna have Frankie
Oh
on
yeah.
here. Oh yeah,
Yeah. Frank Ritz. Frankie.
Fritz. All right. Well, that's an episode. A very short one, but it's an episode.
Guess I'll see. Guess I'll see you guys later.
Yeah.